Welcome to Jags Drive Time with Ashlyn Sullivan, John Oehser, and Brian Sexton. Jags Drive Time starts right now.
You know, I do believe there has to be some kind of healing, with the situation and everything that transpired last year, because it's just, there's a lack of trust that was broken, I think, and for me, it's about gaining the trust back, and they've got to see it through me. They got to see the transparency, the honesty. You know, I've always said that I'm going to be open with them, and I want them to be open with me, and it just comes down to communication, right, and having an open line of communication, and we've been able to have some conversations that way in team settings, and I think the guys have really embraced it and are doing well.
Loved that explanation from head coach Doug Peterson, because it is a real thing. There is healing going on in this building and trust being reestablished as we are getting ready for the start of OTAs next week. Welcome into Jaguars Drive Time. Ashlyn, Brian, and John here with you. And I wanted to start the show with that, guys, because it was kind of the first time that Coach Peterson addressed what happened here last year. And not that he needed to, but it was kind of nice to say, hey, I get this happened, and we're moving on now.
It sets the tempo to his team. It sends the message. And Doug's the guy who's going to say it once and be done with it. Hey, this isn't what last year was. It's going to be what I think it should be. No more worrying about the past. And he probably had to say something.
It seems he's alluded to it before at times, touched on it when asked. The timing of this made sense because it's really the first time that he's been addressing the team and not the draft to the media since the team came back for OTAs. So he's had a chance to talk to players and start getting to know them a little bit. And I think at that point he had something to say about it in terms of what he had seen. As I said on Reporters yesterday, I think no matter what the situation had been last year, and I don't know that we'll ever know all the details of it.
We know enough.
But I think no matter what it had been, the reality was you had a coach who was here for 13 games, which is, I think, the third or fourth shortest tenure in NFL history. Whatever had happened, the players need to walk in here looking at Doug Peterson and saying, he's the guy. Yeah. He's going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
Well, even if they weren't here last year, they need to know it's been shaky here before.
Mm-hmm.
They need to look at him as a beacon in the night, if you will. But I mean, somebody who's going to be here long term and that you can trust. I honestly doubt that Doug has had to work very hard on that front. I think it's just who he is.
Yeah, agreed.
At some point, you know this, whether you're dieting or exercising or whatever, you got to let go of what was wrong and what you did in the past. And not that Doug has to, but the guys who were here have to just stop thinking about what was and start thinking about what is. And I thought what he really did was draw that line in the sand and say, now we're past it. I don't want to hear about what the past was. All we're doing is looking forward.
Absolutely. Let's get into big things. Big thing one is, what did we see last weekend in rookie minicamp? Well, what we saw was Travon Walker absolutely dominating the field, if that is even possible in a rookie minicamp. We knew he was big in person from seeing him in the building, but when you saw him with the jersey and the gloves and hitting pads, you said, whoa, he is really big on a football field, and we weren't the only ones that thought that. Just ask Devin Lloyd.
About what I expected. Athletic freak. He's very powerful, and he's somebody who I'm glad I don't play right left tackle, because that's a bad man. So it's really fun to be out there with him and us pushing each other to get better.
Big thing, too, is what did we hear? And truthfully, we didn't hear much. And that was a very nice thing in rookie minicamp. It was very calm, no music blaring, no MC. It was just guys talking to their coaches and working out on a football field, which was a very refreshing thing after what we experienced in last year's rookie minicamp. But one thing we are hearing is how well Trevor Lawrence is adapting to this offense.
100%. He's so engaging right now. The communication is pretty incredible. The things that he sees on the football field, and even from the standpoint of, hey, I like this play. This is what we did last year. I like this play. I like this concept. Is there a way that we can incorporate this in our offense? And so that's the dialogue that's going on right now, and this is the time to really, I think, embrace that and get it into our system now.
And finally, big thing 3 is, what do we think? Well, we think it's pretty obvious why the draft picks are here. They are here for a reason. It was very clear which players were draft picks on the rookie minicamp field and which ones weren't. It was very clear, and you could pick them out on the football field. And Chad Muma, Devin Lloyd, Travon Walker were all very clear football players that can start right away, and Chad Muma is ready to get into this defense.
Yeah, initially it was, really kind of a real surprise for me because I saw that they took, Devin Lloyd in the first round. And so, at that time, my mind was thinking, okay, they got their linebacker. I'm not going to be going there. And they're the ones that, ended up giving me the call. And so, I was really thankful to have that. And I wasn't sure how it was all going to work now. But, after going through the meetings and being able to, kind of go through those different positions and, be able to kind of flip between Devin and I, it's good now. It's just still kind of getting that feel for it.
And there you have it. That is big things. We go back up to big thing 1 because it is the clear, obvious thing of rookie minicamp. Our biggest takeaway was Travon Walker, and not the potential he has on the field, because we didn't see that much.
Right.
We just saw his size in action.
I'm trying to think of the right way to describe it, because you hear in every draft, the guy's a physical freak, like Devin Lloyd said.
Yep.
And let's be honest. We're talking about the top 1% of football players in the entire world at this level. They're all physical phenomenons. But the combination that he has, it's like you went to Churchill Downs a couple years ago, right? Before the horse races started, you watched everybody walking around. They were looking to see if they could identify, a winner based on what they could see. He's the fastest horse on the field, or he was last weekend. He's the biggest. He stands out in so many ways.
And he does things, again, I don't want to overplay it because it's a rookie minicamp. But the things that he's asked to do during rookie minicamp, he makes them look easy. He looks like a guy that has the potential for us to be talking about this during training camp. Usually during training camp, the rookies fall off. They're not as strong as the guys who are already here. They're playing against grown men. This kid looks like a grown man who will look like a grown man playing against 26-year-olds. Yeah. Again, it's just rookie minicamp, but the things he did on the blocking sled, in drills, you can see why they drafted a number 1 overall. I don't know what it'll translate to on the field, but he's got every chance.
Well, I said this on Reporters yesterday. I stood in front of Aiden Hutchinson in Las Vegas.
He said, "Get out of my way."
I probably would have said it to him before I would have said it to this guy.
Okay, I got you. Right.
Because the point is that Hutchinson's big, 6'6", 260, but not like this.
No.
And we've been on this field before, all of us. And again, they're all impressive physical specimens. That's why they play in professional football. But I don't know that it had been like, oh, yeah, that's it. That is the perfect combination of height and length and speed and explosiveness. And as John said 4 times, it's rookie minicamp. Got it. But that's what we're looking for in rookie minicamp. We're looking to see what was it that separated this guy from Aiden Hutchinson, from Ike Mekwonu, and from Evan Neal, the other guys who were mentioned as being the top physical targets. Well, if you put them all next to each other, they're all impressive in their own way. And I stood before the other 3 in Vegas, and then him, it's him.
Yeah.
No questions. If you're wondering, it's him.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's going to mean that he's a, quote, sack guy. But the more you listen to people talk about him, the more you listen to him, the more you see him, I guess the higher confidence there is that he is going to be able to be a productive player doing something in the NFL. And you would be shocked if this kid's not really, really good.
What if he has 8 sacks, right? Which would be good for a rookie. I think that would, Josh Allen had 10. But what if Josh Allen has 15, right?
It just takes the pressure off of him.
The impact of what this player can do is more than just what his stats say. And I think that's something that you're going to have to watch. And plus, I think it's pretty clear with his frame and his hands and his, the length of his arms means he can get into guys and then keep them off of him, right, from getting into his body and moving him in the run game. I would expect that he would be a very productive player. I know with the number 1 overall pick and with the pass rusher in particular, you're looking for sacks. But I think with this player over the first couple years of his career, you're just going to be able to watch him on the field and go, oh, yeah, that is a guy who is worthy.
And from the team's perspective, I get what the outsiders are going to say, my ozone emailers. What if, I don't know, Brian, he just makes him a whole lot better?
That's my point.
Yeah, and maybe his presence makes him a whole lot better, and he has 7 sacks, and Aiden Hutchinson has 8. And and the Jaguars are really, really, really good on defense, and he's a big reason why.
He sucks. But you're going to get that because it's the nature of the beast.
But I just think, he looks to me like a guy who is going to be able to contribute at a high level for a long time in the NFL. And, if it's true or not, but it sort of looks that way.
Well, and I just want to say this. I shared the story with you of interviewing Devin Lloyd in Las Vegas and how impressive he was. And I said, what is Jacksonville getting? And he said, someone who wants to be good and a good football player and an even better person, right? In the limited touch talk that we've had with these guys, it seems like Travon is kind of the same kid. Good kid, good family, very disciplined, hard worker. If that's the case, if they're both the same case and both really good players, man, what a home run first round this could turn out to be. Time will tell. We've just seen a rookie minicamp, but the signs are encouraging.
Yeah. It's funny, Schlin, after the first draft weekend, there was this, you sort of set your narratives. Well, Devin Lloyd's the real outgoing guy, and Travon Walker is going to be very meek in front of the media. Travon, I don't think, is going to be as engaging as Devin Lloyd. But in the interviews that I've seen with Travon and been around him, he's a very engaging, likable kid. I just don't think he's going to be Mr. Dynamic the way Devin Lloyd is. But I certainly think he's going to be a likable player for the Jaguars, and he's got a chance to be really, really good.
Really good,
Travon Walker.
Yes, and I catch myself asking, who cares? Who cares if Travon Walker isn't this outgoing? But that's just who we drift to as media members.
Yep.
Devin Lloyd reminds me a lot of Josh Allen,
Oh, yeah,
how he
no,
walked in this building.
yeah.
Very similar. But Travon Walker is a good football player. That's all he needs to be.
We
He doesn't
heard
need a movie star.
We heard before the draft that this was a draft filled with doubles, real solid base hits. This kid has the chance to be a home run. And I have a hard time seeing him not being at least a triple watching him on the field last week. So
Totally
I think he's going to be really good and very productive. Does he become that superstar that John's emailers say, John, you were right? Who knows?
Yes. Excited to see him at the least in OTAs and in training camp coming up soon. We have Brandon Scherff, offensive lineman, joining us next on Jaguars Drive Time. Stay with us. Fans like you've been told that going all out is going too far. But fans like you know better. You're the kind of fan who loves the team as much as your pet, who paints yourself for game days and dyes your pet's fur to match. You are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic, equal parts pet obsessed and diehard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too. The official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
Hey Jags fans, this is head coach Doug Peterson of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Everyone deserves to arrive at their destination safely. When walking, always use the sidewalk. If there is no sidewalk, walk facing traffic, along the grassy shoulder, a safe distance from the travel lane. When driving, slow down, stay alert, and always watch for pedestrians. Remember, Duval, safety doesn't happen by accident. Visit alerttodayflorida.com for more safety tips.
We're back, Jaguars Drive Time, brought to you by Jet Home Loans. Excited to have offensive lineman Brandon Scherff join the show now. Brandon, welcome in, and excited to be back on the football field, I can imagine. It's finally for real here in Jacksonville.
Yep, it's really nice, and the weather's nice here too, so I'm enjoying myself.
Not too hot though yet, right?
Not yet. I heard it gets worse.
It's going to be
It
brutal.
can get warm in Iowa in the summer.
Yeah. For about a week.
Right. Short summer up there.
Yeah, amen to that.
So tell us just how it's been going with Coach Peterson and just this offseason program. We out on the football field feel it's very relaxed but efficient. Do you feel the same way?
Yep, just learn a new system with Coach Peterson and then Coach Phil, and then a new offense with Press Taylor. So I think they're just trying to work us in baby steps here and just stacking one day at a time. And Coach Peterson always talks about the 1%, getting 1% better each and every day, and just coming to work and having fun.
You had different head coaches in your time in Washington, but you were in Washington your whole career. What's it like now, 6-7 years in, to step up and try something new?
Yeah, change. I enjoyed my time in Washington. I had some great coaches, and I'm so thankful for them, and I wouldn't be where I am without them. So, but change is good, and just it's all pretty much the same, just new terminology, just a new way to do things. So just come in and just grind and have fun.
What were your impressions of Doug Peterson as an opponent for years, and how they lined up? What are your impressions now?
Yeah, he's a great coach. He's he's one of the best. He's a smart coach. He won a Super Bowl for a reason. I'm very fortunate to be able to play with him, to play for him, and and learn from him too. So I think we got a heck of a team, and we're excited to just keep building one at a time.
We're spending a lot of time talking about who, what, and where on the offensive line. What's that like for you? First of all, you're stepping into a new group anyway,
right?
And now they're talking about competition at right tackle and who's going to be the left guard. And how do you build the cohesion when you don't know who's going to be where?
I don't think you can worry about that. Right now you just gotta. We haven't really stepped out on the field yet. You're just doing individual stuff. You are doing a few team things, but it's all about just learning the playbook, and that's you got to worry about yourself first. Make sure you know what to do and how to do it. And like Phil says, he's got 3 things: know what to do, know how to do it, and be the same guy every day. So coming in, work, and just show the coaches that you know what to do.
So it sounds like you're not concerned about it. That comes together in August.
It comes together. It slowly comes together, but we also like to get people together during OTAs and build that camaraderie together, outside of practice too. So we just moved into a house, so that's my goal, is to finally get people over there and just enjoy it.
You mentioned Phil. You've worked with him before.
Yep.
What is it about him that you like? Tell people who are watching this sort of what defines him as an offensive line coach to you.
Yeah, he came in when I had Coach Callahan, so he learned under Coach Callahan, and he's really energetic, and he gets along with the guys really well. So he's a lot of fun. He likes to joke around and just make the meeting rooms fun. Because some people are better learners than that. He doesn't. He's not. I guess I shouldn't say that, but he's just a fun coach, and we all enjoy it. So
now, as a veteran. Would you normally be here for the off-season program? Is this important to you as a player, or is this a first time you want to be here to get to know the new coaching staff? Some veterans see the off-season.
Yeah, for 8 years. This is my 8th year, so I've been here for the OTAs.
Okay, so, gotcha.
Yep, it's just I like being here because, like I said, you can build camaraderie with the team, and you only have to be in here for 4 hours a day. So whether it's I like to hunt and fish, you can go fishing after that. We just bought a new house, and so now it's moving into the house and trying to figure out where everything's at in this area.
You got to work out somewhere. May as well be here, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, so we were on the field for the first time with this new coaching staff this past weekend, and being next to the offensive line, Coach Rauscher is loud. Is he always that
That's
loud?
why I said he's fun, so he likes to be loud, and he is loud.
He was by far the loudest coach on the field, no questions asked.
Yep,
so we can expect that going forward.
Absolutely. He'll probably get louder.
Okay, fair enough.
Give us your perspective. I mean, we saw the young quarterback. We're excited about him. As an outsider coming in now, what do you think of Trevor Lawrence? What do you see from him in even limited time?
He was picked where he was picked for a reason. He's smart, he's tall, he's quick, he's athletic, he's confident too in the huddle. He's confident, so we can, as long as we do our job up front for him, the sky's the limit for him. So that's what we're focused on doing.
You said tall. Is that important or just an observation?
I'm just an observation and important too. So yeah.
Speaking of Coach Rauscher, again, he told us at the draft that his main priority in life is to protect Trevor Lawrence. That's his number one job in life.
Yeah, we brought that up in the O-line room too. We're gonna find him for that too.
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
He's just
being
honest.
It's just a joke. Every time somebody gets put on the media, it's always a fine in the offensive line room.
Oh, jeez. So we're never going to see you again, is what you're saying.
Probably not.
We'll make this count at the least, gosh.
That's right. Yeah, but no. Yeah, so as long as we're doing our job up front and keeping Trevor upright, he can do his job and do it to the best of his ability. So we're excited for that.
And how do you like Jacksonville? You mentioned buying the new house.
Yep.
I hear you talking about turkey hunting, so this has to be
We're
a
getting
dream
there.
city.
A lot of guys like to go fishing, so I've never really fished on the coast before. So I'm always, I'm from Iowa, small town. We don't have the beaches like we do out here. So it's a new environment, but like I said, change is good. So we're excited.
You're going to have to get Brooksy or some of these guys to hook you up with Brandon Linder, who just retired.
I heard.
He is Mr. Saltwater.
I
He's the guy.
heard. I heard.
And by the way, I was driving down County Road 210 just yesterday, and there were 3 turkeys just standing by the side of the road waiting for you.
That's right.
Right there in Ponte Vedra.
Yeah.
I don't know
Not
if it's
anymore.
season or
He was
not.
out there.
He was out
No
there
season.
yesterday.
Trust me, I've looked.
Yeah.
One of the last ones for you for the schedule release going back to Washington
Yep.
very early in the
Yep.
season. I can imagine that's exciting.
Yeah, it's
Just crossing
exciting.
off the list.
No, absolutely. I like I said, I enjoyed my time back there and have a lot of good memories back there and a lot of close friends. So I'm excited to see them all.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much
You
for
bet.
joining Jaguars
Appreciate
Drive
it.
Time. We're going to make the most of it. We're never going to see you again.
Sounds
You know
good.
what the Mushroom Society is?
What?
You know, Ryan.
Yeah,
So do
well,
offensive linemen. They
yeah.
call the offensive line coaches love to call themselves an offensive lineman the Mushroom Society.
Do you know why?
Because they grow in the dark and everyone throws manure on them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Offensive lineman sounds like a fun place to be.
Well, that's just kind of the way that's what they say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon, thank you for joining us. We'll
bet.
come back on Jaguars Drive Time.
Thank you.
Fans like you have been told that going all out is going too far. But fans like you know better. You're the kind of fan who loves the team as much as your pet, who paints yourself for game days and dyes your pet's fur to match. You are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic, equal parts pet obsessed and diehard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too. The official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 300s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-431-0006 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You will not believe what Daly's Place has in store for you this year. Coming up are the likes of the Lumineers tonight and tomorrow. Dave Matthews Band coming up, the Black Crows, Keith Urban, and much more. For a full list of shows and to get your tickets, visit dailysplace.com. We are back, Jaguars Drive Time on a Tuesday. Thank you to Brandon Scherff for joining Jaguars Drive Time. It is time for What's More Likely, a couple situations that we have to play out here, getting ready for OTAs next week. And we've talked at great length about Travon Walker and Devin Lloyd. So what is more likely, Travon Walker and Devin Lloyd starting, or Travon, Devin, Luke Fortner, and Chad Muma starting, Brian?
So, I think it's a foregone conclusion that you will see Travon and Devin on the field. So the real question here is Luke Fortner and Chad Muma or not? So I went back and looked, and there have been centers who were rookies who started on great teams. Tom Nalen was a third-round pick of the Broncos and was a rookie the year they won their first Super Bowl. And Mike Pouncey started at center for the Steelers and was part of some very successful teams in Pittsburgh. So, I like the look of this guy. I like what I heard on John's podcast. So I think he does start, and I think Muma plays such a big role. It's like he's starting. I think it's more likely that all four of those guys are playing important roles very early, opening day.
Yeah, it's clearly more likely, just doing the math.
Oh, here we
You
go.
got
It's not
two
playing.
people over on this question, and then two people, the same two people plus two more. So it's more likely that just two start. So more likely that just two. But I completely agree with Brian. I don't know that Chad Muma will be a 17-game starter on the Jaguars depth chart.
But you won't know it.
But I do think that in 17 games, you'll look out there and watch the Jaguars, and you'll see Chad Muma running around playing. So he'll be how about this, Ashlyn? How about this blow your mind? I think if you think there are 13 or 14 starters on defense, which is the way the NFL is these days, then I think he will be starting. And I don't know that Luke Fortner starts September, but out of 17 games, I'll bet he starts 12 or 13 of them. I'll bet he's starting, and by the end of the season, he's the guy.
Okay. I'm going to go that I think he starts on opening day because he's a smart kid. He's huge, big, broad, looks like a center. And other teams have had success with it, so I don't see why not. But
I think that's going to be a great training camp battle.
The overall point is that by the end of this year, I think John's alluding to this, these are guys that you go, okay, we're set here.
Yeah,
let's go on.
Check the box.
Well, top 70 guys, by the end of the year, they should look like that.
You bet.
And you should know they're starting in 2023.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, what is more likely, quarterback E.J. Perry or wide receiver Kevin Austin making this team? This is both undrafted free agents that are now on the Jaguars, and both have been very high acquired, and the Jaguars paid a lot of money to get both of these guys here. A lot of teams wanted both these guys. A lot of questions on Kevin Austin out of Notre Dame. He had injuries. He had a suspension. E.J. Perry from Brown University is one of the better quarterbacks that the Jaguars could have picked up. So what's more likely?
Well, both is not an option. So I'll go with the quarterback. And just guessing, right? Young quarterbacks, especially ones that you like, are valuable because they can become draft picks. If you develop them, they're valuable if they have to play, but they're more valuable in the Rob Johnson mold. If you've got a good one, I think the quarterback is a guy who sticks on the roster.
I'll blow your mind again, Ashlyn.
Answer the question.
I think it's almost a certainty to me that unless E.J. Perry just can't do anything, he's going to be on the roster because you sign a guy, I don't think he will play.
No.
So I think there's a high percentage chance that he's on the roster and doesn't play. In that sense, it's not as much of a certainty that Kevin Austin's on the roster, but there's a much higher percentage chance that he contributes something because I don't think there's any way that Perry, unless something goes dramatically wrong, has a stat next year. Kevin Austin, to me, during rookie camp, looked like a guy who has a chance to get into the rotation, bare minimum a practice squad guy.
Yeah.
So I agree with Brian. When you sign a quarterback like that, you sign him with the idea that you're going to retain him somewhere on your 53 or keep him on the practice squad. So I think he's here. The question becomes Kevin Austin. I think both, but I can't answer both because you have your little or in there. It's not an and question.
That's correct.
To be honest with you, I didn't pay any attention to Kevin Austin, so I couldn't tell you.
He looked like a guy who fits in the NFL, but can you get open, all those things. But you can easily see during rookie camp why they wanted him and why you think that he has a chance to make the roster.
Yeah, from what we've read, a lot of teams wanted him, and there was just so many questions around him that you have the hesitations, and we probably won't know till training camp what he can bring, but 900 yards his senior season. He only played 17 games of his college career. So when he's on the field, he's impactful. There's just a lot of questions.
And for him and his agent, this is one of those logical fits. Everybody thought the Jaguars needed a receiver.
Yeah.
They've got 5 who you think really fit solidly, but there's really not a developmental guy in terms of a young guy right now in this team. So there's a slot for that. And you would think they want Austin to fill that. Now he's got to go fill that.
Absolutely. All right. Our last, what's more likely? Who scores more touchdowns this season at running back? Is it James Robinson or new draft pick Snoop Connor? Who scores more touchdowns?
No, and this is interesting because Robinson is a very effective touchdown guy. Both ways, right? As a receiver and a runner. But we don't know what his health is, and the Achilles is a serious injury. We hear he's making progress. Snoop Connor was a goal line back. What do you have, 13 touchdowns last year at Ole Miss? He'll be healthy. I won't even try to blow your mind. I'll say Robinson because he'll have the chance to catch and run, receiving and rushing touchdowns. So I'll say Robinson, but Connor will get on the board.
I'm going to blow your mind again, Sean.
Oh, here we go.
I'm never playing this game with you ever again.
I think, I'm going to go with Travis Etienne.
No,
but
that's
I'm not going to go with that. So I think Etienne out of the running backs has a chance to be the guy who scores more. But to your question, I agree with Brian. I believe in James Robinson as a worker, as a kid, as somebody who can overcome things. I don't know, frankly, if he'll be the same back at any point in his career as he was before the Achilles. That's always unknown with that injury.
Sure.
If somebody can do it, I believe he can. And I do think he will get back this year and figure out a way to contribute and have more touchdowns than Connor, but not more touchdowns than Travis Etienne.
So the reason, well, first of all,
Schlein.
We went with this question because they're both really good around the goal line, and we don't know about Etienne.
That's why I went ahead and answered the question.
Right. No, I know.
Even while I answered the other
I know,
question.
right. The one thing I think that Robinson has going for him is he was not an explosive guy before, and he's not going to be explosive after the Achilles injury. So I think he's got a chance to return to form, or at least closer to form, than a lot of other guys who rely on that explosiveness.
There's things he did with quickness in the hole, make guys miss.
Vision.
Instinct, that sort of thing, that as a running back, he still needs that Achilles to work well to be good. But I agree with you. I think he will figure out a way to be impactful even while he's coming back from this injury. I think he'll have more touchdowns than Snoop Connor.
But not as many as Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
We're done with this segment.
It's your question.
Yes. That was what's more likely when we come back on Jaguars Drive Time. Some closing thoughts here on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 300s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-431-0006 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Hi folks, Frank Frangie here to tell you where to find the most authentic Southern Pit barbecue in all of Jacksonville. That's right, Bono's. For 72 years, Bono's has been smoking real pit barbecue right here on the First Coast. Smoked for hours, served in minutes, and always cut to order. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at TIAA Bank Field. Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hey Jags fans, this is head coach Doug Peterson of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Everyone deserves to arrive at their destination safely. When walking, always use the sidewalk. If there is no sidewalk, walk facing traffic, along the grassy shoulder, a safe distance from the travel lane. When driving, slow down, stay alert, and always watch for pedestrians. Remember, Duval, safety doesn't happen by accident. Visit alerttodayflorida.com for more safety tips.
The Jaguars are future focused and ready for a new look in 2022. Join us at the bank this season as head coach Doug Peterson and quarterback Trevor Lawrence lead the charge. To lock in your seats, visit jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We are back, Jaguars Drive Time. As of yesterday, some news from Albert Breer that has not been confirmed by the Jaguars, but Ethan Waugh is now the assistant general manager under Trent Baalke, will join the scouting staff here in Jacksonville. This is something we talked about during the pre-draft, and Trent Baalke at the time said, yeah, not right now, but didn't say it wouldn't happen. This is a move we anticipated was going to come, and it looks like it is coming.
Yeah, Shad particularly had talked about way back the need to add more brain power in football, more level, I guess was phrase used. So Waugh knows Baalke from San Francisco. I worked with him for 10 years, so it's a logical fit.
When they hire him, Trent, I assume, will tell us how they will use him, so I'm just assuming. But assistant GMs are generally on the road a lot.
Yeah.
They're out doing a lot of the scouting and the heavy lifting that would allow the general manager to be here and doing more and different things to support Doug in football. So my guess is he's going to be super scout.
Yes, agreed. And we will await that news from the Jaguars possibly this week. And coming up this week as well, Chad Muma is on the Ozone podcast.
Yes, Chad Muma on the Ozone podcast. And it was interesting. I told him a story of how I went to Wyoming to interview a former Wyoming player. And his eyes sort of glazed over, and I realized I was talking about somebody from the expansion season, and not Chad hadn't been born yet at that point. So,
talk about Ryan Christopherson.
Yeah. So
I hate that for you.
I realized I was an old man.
Yeah,
So,
that's
but
tough. But listen anyway.
Chad was terrific, and I think fans will enjoy getting to know him a little bit.
Love that. And next Monday, we will be on the field for OTA number 1. So we'll have some kind of impressions, probably more than rookie minicamp. Going to do a little bit more in this phase 2 of the offseason. So stay with us for that. And thank you for tuning in to Jaguars Drive Time. We will see you next week. Stay with us on Jaguars.com.